Very good afternoon. Welcome to today's home of football. We are live at Goodison for Matchday Live Extra. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me is the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson. And when I say alongside me, he really is alongside me. This is the closest we've been since COVID took hold all those years ago.
It's always cozy, isn't it?
Oh, it's like going back in time. And I don't know whether you can see if I turn this just here, but look, there's another former Wolves man who's there. Mickey Gray is right behind me here in the press box here at Goodison as well. Joining us from home is future Hall of Famer Chris Wellamo. There he is, tucked up nice and warm. He's probably just had his Sunday lunch. He's settling down. Oh, a little coffee. Look at him. What a classy man that he truly is. We're all in good spirits because we won a game and we scored lots of goals, Chris Wellamo. And it was one of the worst ones you've chosen to miss all season because you missed a good one.
It was against one of my other old teams as well, wasn't it, Mikey? So you know what, it's probably a good one that I missed. Absolutely delighted. I think we've been threatening to do that all season, really. I think that some real quality performances, and I've got to say, a performance, a result, and a clinical performance in front of goal after what was probably a disappointing 7 to 10 days was a great reaction. It shows the character, and what it does, it just keeps the kind of dream alive of what can be achieved this season. I think we were all a little bit down in the dumps after 3 defeats. Defeats that could have been very. It just shows you the small margins of football, and Tom will probably kind of back me up on this. That if you aren't clinical when you are on top, little moments. It's the Premier League. It's the hardest league in the world by a country mile. If you make mistakes, you get punished for it. If you're not at your best, you get your just deserves. And after what was a disappointing 7 to 10 days, and what was a really poor performance against Palace, that's the reaction we all wanted to see. So I think obviously Bruno, his staff, the players, they all have to take a little bit of credit in delivering that. But now they've set the bar. It's not just a one-off. It's about building on that and taking that into today. Everton are there to be beat. Everton are there to be beaten, and the pressure's on them. We should come. I think they might match up like for like. I'm hearing their formation. It's going to be very interesting. But it's down to us to perform and do what we do. But when those chances come, we have to take them, and we've shown that we've got the quality and abundance.
I would have read you the team news, but as you might have seen, my notes just went flying. My good friend from the BBC is going to sort that out for me. Thank you very much, my friend.
Oh, mate.
Shambles me.
A random gust of wind. I think I could blame Mickey Gray from behind me for trying to do that and sort that out. We'll run you through the teams in just a second because there is some interesting team news on both sides. But Tomo, in essence, I mean, we don't necessarily know how well it was Wolves on Thursday and maybe just how poor Watford were. It's hard to gauge exactly where that performance ranks on that scale.
Well, it was a game, what we said, that it could be a banana skin for us with the way that Watford are scrapping for their lives. And I was disappointed in the way that Watford come because it looked like they had no fight at all. I know we got the early goals. I think it was 3 up after 21 minutes, which makes a massive difference. Because there's games that we've done that before and we haven't took advantage of the chances that we've had. But, I was disappointed with Watford. But, look, don't take nothing away from the Wolves team. We scored some very good goals, especially the last one with Neves with a chip. Pedence's opportunity after Foster's mistake. He nearly had another one in the second half, a little bit further out. But, look, take nothing away from Wolves. They played well. And, again, we spoke about them being clinical and taking the chances, and they definitely did that the other night.
Yeah, and taking their chances early. It was something that they didn't do last year, very rarely indeed, whereas this season looms, it does seem like they have been better at scoring in the opening 15 minutes of matches. And look, when you're 3-0 up after 21 minutes, the game is easy, isn't it?
You say that. I've been involved in games where you're 3-0 down and you win the game 4-3. So things happen in football, but you have to be switched on, concentrated. Fantastic, the goals are coming early. There's been a lot of the games this season that we've created chances. We've got that early goal. You know, that's down to the high intensity, the high energy that Bruno Lage wants us to play, and that's with and without the ball. By the way, that means that high block, you intercept, you retrieve the ball, and high, and then straight away you're at the defence, and we have shown when we create that we can score those kind of goals. You know, the spin side of it, when you look at it, is that still only little patches. You know, we want to be dominant. You know, I think that's what Bruno Lage. I know that you're not going to have the full game be dominant for the whole game, but you're going to have long periods, and I feel that we should have longer periods with the ball and creating more chances. You know what? It's one of them. The players will always challenge themselves. The staff, the manager will always challenge the players to produce more, and that's a great marker against Watford. No matter what Watford came to down, it's about scoring goals in the Premier League, putting 3 points on the board. How many times can we do that from now till the end of the season? It's going to be very interesting.
Well, we will talk more about what Wolves need to do, especially to turn over Everton here today. We'll hear from Bruno. We'll look back on a famous victory here in the past couple of seasons as well. But seeing as we're in a good mood, it's Sunday lunchtime. Let's settle in for the next couple of minutes and reminisce about a wonderful Thursday night against Watford and Molyneux. Hwang for Potence, now Jimenez. Chan Hwang trying to drive into the penalty area. He's done well to keep hold of possession. Lovely one in field. Jimenez passed it into the bottom corner. And Wolves are in front. Cool, calm finish from Raul Jimenez. Back in the starting lineup and back in the goals. This is Johnny in an advanced position into the penalty area. Left-footed cross comes through to Aït-Nouri. Oh, it's an own goal! Turned into the near post. Rain Aït-Nouri gets the congratulations. But for the third Premier League meeting in a row, Watford have put the ball in their own net. Samir back to Foster. Oh, and a poor kick from him. Straight to Daniel Podence. Podence for 3! It's too easy for him. The mistake from Ben Foster. Wolves fans will love that even more. And Daniel Podence took his time and coolly, calmly sent it into the back of the net. Aït-Nouri crossing towards the far post. Chiquinho will head it back. Neves, time to take a touch and a second, and then a little dig. Oh, it's a genius! That's incredible! Ruben Neves, he thinks therefore he plays, and he plays the game in a majestical fashion. He's such a special talent, and he scored a special goal, and it's another for the increasingly incredible collection. So what a night it was. There have been 3 changes made from the side that started against Watford, though. Willy Bolly is amongst those who drops out. Rain Aït-Nouri drops out too, and Daniel Podence does as well. It means Leander Dendoncker comes in and bolsters the midfield. That man on your screen, Chan Hwang, will play as a front 2 with Raul Jimenez today. Maximilian Kilman comes back into the starting lineup. There he is. See, I knew he wouldn't take him long to realise that he was on Wolves TV. He just can't stay away from Wolves TV, Mickey Gray. He loves it. You'd rather be on with us, wouldn't you? I told you. He's desperate to get on and be on here. Say Marcel coming back in for Rain Aït-Nouri. Luke Cundle, Toti back amongst the substitutes as well. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Tomo, I guess reaction to that team suggests that maybe Bruno has seen something in Everton. Maybe he just wants to be a little bit kind of more organised and solid away from home, maybe.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm surprised that he's made any changes. Bolly going out, and Podence especially. I thought both outstanding the other night. I thought they played very well. And look, say, at the end of the day, so look, he's got his reasons. I don't know. We spoke about it the last time that we had the changes about him changing players after talk to physios and about the stats and data what they collect after games. But no, I was surprised that he's actually gone with the way that he has. Because I think Pedence's been playing really well. And again, it's been a long time since Bolly played, and it was good to see him. Say, I thought he looked like he'd never been away. So the way that he performed the other night, yeah. But he's gone with the two up front. He's gone with that three midfield. So it's interesting to see. Does he want Dendoncker to be that physicality in the middle, maybe a little bit more, maybe. But again, so look, it's the pressure's always on Everton for me for today's game because of the way that things have gone.
Having scored goals, Chris Owellamo, would you have been tempted to leave three up top, or can you understand why he's gone the way he has today?
Well, like Tomo, I'm surprised, but it's modern football. You know, I think, like you said, Mikey, he's looking at Everton. He's thinking, okay, I need a little bit more physicality there. You know, a little bit more maybe defensive solidity there as well. And you're sitting thinking, okay, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I'm surprised by it because off the back of a game, you like you say, after 21 minutes, you're 3-0 up. You're thinking, go out and put the sword to Everton, but you're not going to have it all their own way. They've got players coming back as well. So I think it's just Bruno Lage, good management. You know, he's using the squad. We've said time and time again, there's quality and depth there. And this just shows the depth that we have. But off the back of a really strong performance and result, I'd like to think that keep it the same. But, you know, it's every opponent's a different opponent, isn't it? They all have their different strengths, their weaknesses, and hopefully he's got it right again.
Yeah, so just from the other night as well, so if he's playing with two up front, Jimenez, again, we know what he does. We know that he tries to bring people into play, gets hold of the ball, but Wang's definitely got to do better at keeping possession of the ball. That's one of the things that he tries to do, playing the ball first time. And, like, if you're playing with the two up front, it's got to stick up there. And that's something that he's definitely got to improve in his game.
Rain Nouri, it feels a little bit harsh to bring him out of the team, Tomo. And you know, Marcel and Johnny are very solid, aren't they, as wing backs? But they're not going to have the same attacking intent that an Nouri would bring.
Yeah, with the way he's going to play, Marcel Saluk, yeah, he's probably a better defender. But going forward, sometimes he just doesn't offer us that much. He did get quite a few opportunities the other night. But, yeah, Aitner is more of a winger than he is a fullback, the way that we play. So I'm surprised, again, that he's took him out, Aitner. So he had that rest where Marcel come into the side and Aitner was left out. So just after one game, I'm surprised that he's took him back out of it.
No Pedro Neto on the bench today. By the way, we understand that he had an impact injury to the top of his foot. Don't know exactly when that happened. He did travel with the team. We're told it's hopefully nothing serious. He just wasn't ready to be involved today from that impact injury to the top of his foot. So if you're worried about why Pedro Neto is not in the squad, that, we are told, is the reason why. We will talk about the midfield and specifically the man of the moment in just a second. But let's get this game in context from our colleague Gemma Frey.
It was a special night under the lights at Molineux on Thursday evening. 4-0 over Watford, our biggest victory since promotion in 2018. Those 3 goals inside 21 minutes is the earliest we've taken a 3-0 lead since 2009. And of course, that Ruben Neves goal just to top it off. What an incredible moment that was. But after our form in the last few games prior to that, it's amazing now to be back to playing how we saw at the beginning of the calendar year. And now the task is to continue that here this afternoon at Goodison Park. We're here for Everton v Wolves. Now, our last few visits to Goodison have ended in defeat, with our last victory coming back in 2019, a 3-1 victory thanks to goals from Ruben, Raul and Leander. However, if the reverse fixture back in November is anything to go by, then we could be in for an entertaining afternoon. We beat Everton 2-1 in another memorable match under the lights at Molineux. Max Kilman opening the scoring, and then Raul securing us all 3 points as well with his goal. Now, he scored scored in 5 of his 5 meetings with Everton. Every single match he has scored. So hopefully we'll see more from him today. There's actually no other side that he has scored more goals against in his career. But it's not going to be an easy game today. Everton are coming into today fighting for survival. They are just 1 point above Burnley, above that relegation drop zone. So they are going to be coming in today fighting for points so that they can hopefully keep their status as an ever-present side in the Premier League next season.
Our colleague Gemma Frith down at pitchside here at Goodison Park. Remarkable stat in there. Raul Jimenez scoring against Everton every single time he's played against them. Hopefully that run continues today. But one man who has scored against Everton a couple of times before, actually, scored the very first goal back in the Premier League against Everton, what feels like a lifetime ago now. Celebrates his birthday today. We are, of course, talking about the inimitable Ruben Neves. We're joined by the Athletics Wolves correspondent Tim Spears, who is here at Goodison as well, because Tim, you know, like us, you have seen the talent that has been Ruben Neves from his very first arrival all the way through till now. I say he's just turned 25 today. And the question I guess I wanted to ask all three of you is, has there been a better midfielder at Wolves, certainly in the last couple of decades? And is he potentially on course to be the best midfielder we've ever had? I know that's a big question, but Tim, you can have first dibs.
I'm not old enough to have been around 70s or 50s. I don't know if anyone else in this room was.
No,
I wouldn't dare suggest it either. I mean, definitely the best in my lifetime, Mikey. Like, but by a distance, to be honest. To the point that I'm astonished he's still here. Really, I remember that championship season when he cut the division apart week after week. I mean, it was astonishing, and it was a robbery that he wasn't named Player of the Season that year in the Championship. I think Ryan Sessegnon beat him to it. But anyway, I never would have predicted, and probably none of us would, that 5 years later he'd still be at the club. I think that's testament to his professionalism and the long-term vision he's got for his own career. I think he's been very keen not to move to a club where he's not going to be playing football. And we know how grounded he is. He enjoys being in Wolverhampton. He's got 3 kids already. He's 25. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? This guy's like, 10 years younger than me. Anyway, yeah, just majestic. I had the pleasure of sitting down with him last week, Mikey, for a long interview, which is coming out this week. And he's really enjoying this season. He's really come on a lot under Bruno Lage, and he's really enjoying his football.
Tim, can I ask you then, if you were going to be overly critical about Ruben Neves, and where can he improve? Where can he get better?
I think a bit of a weakness actually has been in the way that he's been played by Nuno. Really, in previous years, I thought him playing such a defensive role, albeit he did quite well in it. I felt that didn't really play to his strengths. You know, that championship season, his vision was unbelievable. The goals he scored were fantastic. I thought he sacrificed that a little bit in the past couple of years. And he's pointedly, to me, moved sort of 5-10 yards further upfield, and they are getting almost the best from him this season. This is the best season we've seen of him in the Premier League, I think. He's probably not quick or athletic enough for some clubs, which is maybe why he's not made that big move. He has got fitter this year. I heard you guys talking the other night. I think it was Tomo saying that sort of, you know, in injury time, stoppage time, he was still chasing players down the other night. And I asked him about that when I saw him last week. And he said, yeah, he's the fittest he's ever been as well. So yeah, the goal was majestic. Overdue that he scored a proper worldie like that, because it has been a little while since he scored a beauty. But yeah, I love watching him play. It's an absolute privilege.
So when you interviewed
I think the three of us, we actually
go on, Looms.
Spoke about it. We actually said about the physicality. He's changed, hasn't he? You know, he is more athletic. You know, because he's getting asked to do more. You know, I know you said there maybe the athleticism and speed is an issue, Tim, but I think when you've got his range of passing, I think he could go into any team in the Premier League. And you're talking about the top 4 as well, because of the quality that he's got. But you said there, he's enjoying his football. He's a family man. He's got 3 kids already, 25. You know, do Wolves have to get to that next level to keep hold of a player like Ruben Neves?
I think in time, definitely, he deserves to be in the Champions League. I think you can say that for a few of them. That's part of the reason we've seen Jota and Traore move on. But like I said, Neves seems to sort of have a plan for his career. He's made no secret of wanting to go back to Portugal one day. but I think he would only move to a team higher than Wolves if he was guaranteed to play. You know, he's very, like I said, he's very settled. He's got his head screwed on. He's a leader as well. We often forget that. He was Champions League captain when he was 17, and he's vice captain now at Wolves. Takes his responsibilities very seriously. So I'm sure he'll move. Obviously, he'll move on at some point. But the fact that Wolves have had him for 5 years is testament to getting him down on a long contract and showing and matching his ambition really for the time that he's been with the club.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, Tim, so one of the things that I'm sure that he's mentioned is about adding goals to his game. Has he been disappointed with the amount of goals that he has scored for the kind of player that he is?
Well, he actually thinks people focus too much on his goals and not enough on his defensive work, and which is an obvious thing to do, isn't it? Because the goals are so good. But actually, if you look at his defensive numbers since he came in the Premier League, he's improved them quite a lot. He's up from 2 tackles a game to 3 tackles a game over those 4 years. I think he was 5th best in the league last season for tackles in the whole of the Premier League. So he's worked a lot on that side of his game. He said Nuno was a big influence on that. And he says, I think he said something like, giving away part of the interview here, but he was like 75% of football fans are obsessed with players that go forward, whereas the real football people, the real knowledgeable ones, will concentrate on the defensive work that he does.
Nonsense.
So
Absolute nonsense. Nonsense.
but also,
scoring goals. It must be.
No. Hang on.
Defensive challenges. Nonsense. What's going on?
Hang on, Looms. He's appealing to people like me because I've just got the stats up here in front of me. This season, he is 8th in the Premier League for the amount of tackles, but he's also in the top 15 in terms of the amount of passes that he's made in the Premier League, that just goes to show what his game is. Win the ball and then use it and be there for the return pass as well. And I think there's just an element of him where maybe it's not necessarily that he's changed too much, but it feels like there is an aura about him now, even more so. It's maybe similar to what it was in the Championship, but it's now there in the Premier League, and that is frightening. And that is maybe, Tomo, something Wolves can build around. Neves, Neto, they're the future of this team in the next couple of years.
Without doubt. So there's no doubting about his work rate, working back and making tackles, or whatever. I think that people see the ability that he's got, and that's probably why they're saying about that he should be scoring more goals. I think that's the point that people are probably said about the ability that he's got on set plays, his delivery, the way that he plays. We saw the goal the other night. That no doubting about his work rate, and I think that it's definitely improved this year. The way that he works, gets back, and covers the pitch a lot better. But because of his ability, people, after the Championship as well, of course, the amount of goals, and the quality of goals that he scored.
Yeah. Tim, just before we let you go, what are your thoughts on today, quickly?
I'm really surprised about the lineup. I'm not intelligent enough to work out why he's done that really, but I'll try and read it as we watch the game. But I guess he wants a bit more solidity in midfield. I guess the problem with this formation is the wing backs aren't great at getting forward. They're not that quick. Johnny's still easing his way back in. I think I don't know what you guys think. It's a risk to play him twice in 4 days after 2 successive ACLs. Obviously, the medical staff would have looked long and hard at it. But yeah, I like the thought of Hwang getting in, darting in behind their defence. They played a very high line against Spurs when they got absolutely hammered 5-0. I'm sure they won't be doing that again today, but Hwang will be looking to get in those pockets in behind. Raul will be looking to drift into the 10 and play those through balls like we've seen quite a bit before. And the bench is pretty good. I mean, I think you guys were sort of referencing this earlier, but, you know, he does tend to have a plan for every game. It's not like Wolves set up the same way every week. We've seen Rangnick and Conte forced into changing their formations during matches against Wolves this year. You know, two of the best coaches in the country. So he's a very intelligent man. He'll have thought long and hard about it, and there'll obviously be a reason why he's done it. I can't work it out, but I'm sure there's a good one.
Tim, thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the game. Look forward to seeing that piece
Just being
with
honest.
Ruben Neves next week. No, that's fine. Everyone has an opinion. It's really interesting, and that's what we are here to do, to ask those kind of questions and look forward to what could happen, and hopefully it will all play out across the next 90 minutes or so here at Goodison. We have one here before in the past couple of years. The man we've just been talking about, Ruben Neves, was on the score sheet. Let's look back at a famous victory from the archives.
Doherty trying to run it down the right hand side for Wolves, trying to cut infield away from Baines, showing good strength here. Doherty goes down, penalty Wolves!
Yeah, well played.
Oh goodness me, what a start! Matt Doherty's work down the right-hand side in a similar position to when he was brought down on Tuesday night and didn't get the spot kick. This time, Lee Mason has no doubt. Neves, right-footed, shirt fluttering in the breeze. Couple of short steps, strikes it and scores! Sends Pickford the wrong way, and it's a fantastic start for Wolves at Goodison. Ruben Neves from the spot. Everton 0, Wolves 1. Flick on by Walcott. Sigurdsson trying to wriggle his way through. Walcott's in the penalty area. Walcott, that's a brilliant save by Rui Patricio. Diving out at his feet, and it comes back and comes off the Everton man and will be a goal kick. And Theo Walcott closed in only, 4 or 5 yards out by the time he tried to strike it. But the Portuguese #1 equal to the challenge and maintains Wolves' lead. Swept across to Coleman. Into the Wolves half comes the Everton right back. Into the feet of Tosin. Turns. Andre Gomez driving on into the box to shoot. Oh, it's a brilliant goal. It's a brilliant goal by Andre Gomez to level things up. Neat, swift interplay from the home team. And Gomez has powered it into the top corner. No chance for Rui Patricio. It's Everton 1, Wolves 1. Martinho to flick in. Jimenez's header, Jimenez's goal! Wolves are back in front, and what a brilliant set piece! The Wolves bench celebrate just as much as the players. It's a brilliant flick in by Martinho, and it's a super header into the near post, and Wolves restore their advantage right on half-time. Everton 1, Wolves 2. Strange odd atmosphere inside Goodison as well. Oh, Johnny's done brilliantly to nip in and win it back on halfway here. Can Wolves hit on the counter? Jimenez onto Jota into the penalty area. Diogo Jota back onto his right foot. Jota, it's a brilliant block. It comes to Dendoncker! Leander Dendoncker smashes it home from 8 yards out. A brilliant left-footed volley. And it's Everton 1, Wolves 3. What a swift counter-attack play. It's a brilliant goal.
A cat on the pitch.
There's a black cat. If you're superstitious,
Stay away from it.
There's a black cat coming from the Gladys Street end, and we're just holding off for a minute. St. Tosin's going to go and try and grab hold of it, and the cat is evading him. He's too quick for him.
That cat was an absolute star that day. Should have got a contract. Absolute speed demon down the wing. No one could catch it for quite a while. We had to send Tomo down in the end. All got very serious.
I definitely would have caught it.
How are we feeling about today then, chaps? What's the key threats that you feel will come from Everton? They have no Dominic Calvert-Lewin in their lineup today. I think Richarlison will play as the main striker through the middle, and they've kind of tweaked to have 3 at the back to try and match up with Wolves, which is respectful, but will it work for them? Tom, though?
Yeah, Richarlison has always been a threat against us, always seems to get on the score sheet, so he's going to be a big thing that we're going to need to look at. But just for the way that Wolves are playing, I said, look, they're going to be confident on the back of the result the other night. Everton, with the pressure from the fans, because these fans will put pressure on them today. They'll be expecting or trying to win, but Wolves just got to try and silence them. Just got to make sure they make it hard for Everton to get any chances going forward. Possibly that's the reason why we've played the 3 in midfield. But you just got to nullify Everton with the way that they play, keep them quiet, and if we can get that goal, or what we have done in previous years, why not? Why can't we go out here? We've got Leeds next game, so it's an opportunity today for me, I think, for Wolves.
Looms?
You look at them. Damari Gray. He's come back. I think he's been one of the kind of shining lights, one of the positives. So he's always going to be a threat. Ben Godfrey, another one that's came back in, someone I know very well. He gives him a little bit more, I know the age-wise, but athleticism, power, and he's a threat going forward. I'm really impressed with the young Anthony Gordon. I've seen him a few times down that right-hand side. But there's weaknesses there. I think Coleman, their captain, I think he's playing a lot of football. He's not covering the ground the way that he used to. I think we can really kind of get at them and cause some problems. I think Tim already alluded to the high line that they try and play, and I understand why they try and do that. push the midfield and the attackers forward. If they do that against us today, like you say, Yi-Chan Wang and Jimenez are going to have all sorts of joy in behind as well. So I can't see them hurting us, and I hope that's not the kiss of death. I just think we've got too much for them. I think we've got a manager who's tactically aware, tactically astute as well. He makes the right decisions, and I think we're going to see that with his choices today. I see this being a comfortable victory for us, and you know, I'm just looking at what we've got, the form that they're on. They're off the back of 3 successive defeats, so it's about putting them to the sword and getting the right result, in my opinion.
Yeah, Everton's form is not particularly strong, and they are in that situation where maybe for the first time in a long time, they are legitimately in a relegation dogfight, and the pressure may well begin to tell around this stadium, especially the longer the game goes on. Wolves keep it tight. If Wolves get themselves in front, they can use those nerves to their advantage. Let's hear a little bit from Bruno talking ahead of this game.
And what about Everton? What have you made of them so far this season?
Look, I didn't have time to see them. I think I didn't watch the nice game. Every time I come from a game to another. In the moment where I know they are new manager, maybe they find a style to play, a system to play, because sometimes they play with 4 defenders, sometimes with 5. So let's see. But what I know is it was the manager is have experience. He was a top player. The Everton have top player. So should be also, like every game in the Premier League, a tough game to play. But we need to go there with courage to play our game.
So, prediction time, boys. Looms, you can go first. What are you thinking, score and scorers?
I'm going 2 or 3-0 Wolves. I think it's going to be a comfortable game. I think scoring-wise, I'll go Jimenez does against Everton, and I'll go Yi-Chan Wang as well. And if it's a third,
Okay.
Connor Cody if it's 3.
Wow, okay. You can say he's been having some sherry with his Sunday lunch, I
What
think.
odds? What odds?
What did you have? That coffee?
It's coffee. I swear, it's coffee.
Did you Irish that up, did you? Tomo, what are you going for?
I'm going 3-1 Wolves. I'm going 3-1. So I think that Wolves, on the back of that victory the other day, I'm hoping that we're going to come out and start playing the way that we did. So the tempo was great, the passing was great, it was sharp, we were clinical in front of goal. I'm going to go 3-1.
So you've left the way through for me to say 2-1. And seeing as I was completely right the other night,
2-1?
I was completely right, Looms, the other night.
He said he
you
scored
said
goals.
4-0.
I said, oh,
No, I said that. Who did I
making.
predict the score? Raul
you
Jimenez.
had 2-0.
I said there'd be lots of goals, but I settled on 2. But I said there'd be lots of goals and Raul Jimenez would score. And I was right, Looms. I was completely right. Proven right, factually right. It's all there. It's all on video. It's all there, historical fact. I will say 2-1. And I think Leander Dendoncker will score today, breaking into midfield. And I'm backing Yi-Chan Wang as well. But as ever, please don't listen to us and put any of your hard-earned money on it. We are 3 fools who make these predictions just for fun, and that is enough. Looms, thank you very much
Speak for
indeed.
yourself,
More from
Michael.
Looms.
Say it. He's on his own here.
More from Looms at half-time and full-time on our full commentary available at wolves.co.uk and on the move wherever you are in the world via the Wolves app. Tomo and I will be waiting for you there in a couple of minutes after you've watched 5 minutes of Ruben Neves super goals. Sit back and enjoy.
Backwards to Neves. Neves lining up a shot from distance. Oh, Ruben Neves! Goodness me! What a super hit from Ruben Neves, who opens his account in English football in sensational style. Wolves have taken just 6 minutes to get going here in the K-Com. It's 0-0. Wolves 1. Delivered in, it couldn't quite find volley. Might sit for Neves to strike it on! Brilliant! That is absolutely brilliant from Ruben Neves. What a hit! From more than 20 yards out, he's just caressed it into the bottom corner. Didn't need to smash it, knew exactly what he was doing. and Wolves get themselves the lead at Hillsborough. It's Sheffield Wednesday 0, Wolves 1. Here comes Neves over the top of the wall! Ruben Neves with an absolute stunner! What a free kick! What a goal by a simply sensational footballer! Wolves 1, Brentford 0. It's going to come back towards Neves to Carwan. Oh! That is unbelievable! What a sensational hit from a sensational footballer! Oh, goodness me! Here comes Neves, step up right footed, better side! Oh! Oh, you beauty! Ruben Neves with an absolute stunner! Another classic for the incredible collection of Wolves' Portuguese superstar. It's Cardiff 0, Wolves 1, first blood to the Wolfpack. The edge of the 6-yard box, it was just over the top of Bolly, comes out to Neves, flicks it up, it's on the volley! Oh! Oh, Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves with one of the greatest goals you will ever see! That is simply stunning! Sensational, wonderful, incredible. There are no words to describe what Ruben Neves has just done. Here comes Neves with a right-footed free kick. Yes! Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves! He lights up Molyneux with a stunning curling free kick into the top corner. It's game on in the Premier League. Wolves 1, Everton 1. Neves is up and running in the Premier League. Cavallero making a run down the line, goes back in field to Neves. Neves will line up a shot from distance. Oh, goodness me! Ruben Neves with another classic to add to his ever-growing collection. Fires in from distance into the bottom corner to restore Wolves' advantage on FA Cup third round night at Molyneux. Boy, we've had to wait for another Neves screamer, but it was well worth it. Wolves 2, Liverpool 1. Couple of short steps up to strike it over the wall! Ruben Neves! What a goal from a sensational football player! That is well worth the wait. What a beauty! Wolves 1, Arsenal 0. Jota's made the run short. He'll stand it back to João Moutinho. Fizzing it low to the edge of the box. Neves takes 2 touches. Carlton! Oh my word! Oh, you are kidding me! Ruben Neves has just curled one into the top corner from the edge of the penalty area. The Portuguese maestro conducts another masterpiece. Moutinho pulling it back. Ruben Neves to strike it! Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves! Ruben Neves with an unbelievable hit! It's lift-off at Molyneux! And the man who only ever scores special goals has done it again on Derby Day! It's Wolves 1, Villa 0! Now delivering a lovely cross just too high for Jimenez. Headed away by Gomez. Neves brings it down on the volley. Oh, you must be kidding me! Ruben Neves has just struck a sensational goal into the far corner to double Wolves' advantage on the night. And in the tie, the man who only scores special goals has added another incredible strike to his ever-increasing collection. It's another that you will want to see again and again and again.